Today was our day to release everything that we are holding on to of the past. If you've still not done it, then we have to do it now. We've held on to it for very long, thinking that it was natural. Let's scan our life. It could be our childhood. It could be the growing up time. It could be with a teacher in school. It could be with a parent at home. It could be a friend amongst everybody. Or it could be, as we move on, our career, our relationship with our spouse. It could be just anybody. Or it could be a stranger on a road who just were not the way you wanted them to be. Who just were the way which you never thought they could be. And you created hurt. And you thought it was so normal to get hurt. And you even believed that you can never forget it. The wound was too deep. And they were the ones who created the wound. How could you heal yourself? But you've held on to it for very long. It's time to heal. Because if you don't heal yourself today, if you don't clean the wound, it's only going to increase. The pain, the hurt will shift to resentment, can also shift to hatred tomorrow. And it's a part of your being. It's not about them anymore. It's not about what they did anymore, because that's over. It's past. It's about who you are today, because you're still holding on to it. Past is over. Pause and tell yourself, why did they do that to me? I didn't do anything wrong to them. Why did they do that to me? There is an answer. Everything people do to us today is a consequence of a past karmic connection. Maybe difficult to believe right now, maybe difficult to accept, but it's the truth. Everything that's happening is fair. Fair according to the law of karma. So everything they did to me was a consequence of a past karmic connection with them. But how you think, feel today is your present karma. Do you want to continue with the past? Because the past will then flow into the present, and present will carry forward to the future. So take this moment, bring them on the screen of your mind, and just look at them with compassion. You did what you felt was right. Tell them that. I understand. It was a consequence of our past connection, but I refuse to hold it anymore. I just refuse to let it be on my mind anymore. I have the power to hold on to it, but I also have the power to drop it today. Both is my choice. Sit back, close your eyes, and just say it 3 times. I release the past, I let it go. And see it cleaning and blowing away from the screen of your mind. It's just gone. It's a choice, and I'm throwing it out. I release the past and let it go. It's over. It's over. It's over.
Why do we lament? Something unfortunate happened in the past. This was in the past. Now, if you lament for it in the present, your mind will go into the past. This happened, this was very bad, it should not have happened, why did it happen, I hope it had not happened. So your mind now is in the past. the present chintan you were supposed to do of God and Guru will finish. The mind is such a thing, at one point it will be attached only to one thing. Yogapat Jnananupat Manoso Lingam. Either keep it attached to God or let it go into the past. Attachment can be of many kinds. Lamentation also has attached the mind in a negative way. So Narad ji says, don't lament. Hare Swamiji, why should I not lament? It was such a serious matter. How do we prevent the mind from playing its record? This was very bad, this was very bad. How do you cut it off? So, Narad ji says, in that incident, see the grace of God. Whatever happened was for the best. How come it was for the best? You were too attached to the world. God deliberately gave a negative experience so that you become detached. Tam bhranshayami sampadbhyo yasya chechhamyanugraham. In the Bhagavatam, Sri Krishna says, when I wish to specially grace somebody, I snatch away his worldly luxuries. Why? So that he may turn around from the world and look towards me. This is the grace of God. Let's try and understand that. Now, if our goal is the reverse, I want to become millionaire, billionaire, that is where the happiness lies. Then what will happen? When we get worldly reversal, we think God is very annoyed with me. But if our goal is spiritual progress, then whenever a reversal takes place, you say, oh, God has given this so that I progress further. That is the attitude of the saints. You know, the saints, whenever they have a difficult situation, they see in it the grace of God. Take the example of Sant Tukaram. He was a great saint of Maharashtra. His wife had a terrible nature. She used to keep fighting with him. So Mahabharat would continue at home all the time. One day there was nothing at home. And Sant Tukaram was doing his bhajan, Rukmini Vitthal, Rukmini Vitthal, Rukmini Vitthal. The wife burst forth on him, what are you doing? Go and sit in your shop, earn something, there is nothing to cook out here. So Sant Tukaram obeyed the high command and he went to the shop. Now he earned his daily income, purchased some groceries. When he was coming back, he found some beggars, he kept giving to them in charity. And when he reached home, he only had one ganna, one sugar cane. He told his wife, this is all I have got today. She got so mad at him, she lifted it and hit it on his head. It broke into two. You see, she must have really hit it hard for it to break into two. So, Sant Tukaram was not ruffled by it. He said, oh, it's split. Never mind, you take one, I will take one. We had to break it. And then he went into his puja room. And he said, oh, Rukmini Vitthal, you are so kind, so merciful. You have given me such a wife that I can never become attached to this world. You see, this is the positive nature. The positive nature is that I should not let the disturbance come into my mind. The external disturbances, see in them a blessing. Everything is happening for the good. So he is seeing in that situation the blessing of God. So that is what Narad Ji says, that when there is a reversal, see it as a blessing. That is actually a blessing. The Bible also says God sometimes gives us misery in our life to turn us away from sin and seek eternal life. Why? Because if we get the whole world and yet suffer the loss of our soul, we've got nothing. And if we have elevated the whole world and lost the worldly things, we have got everything. That is why Kunti Devi had prayed to Sri Krishna. When the Pandavas won the war and Yudhishthir was now the king of Hastinapur, so Kunti, as the mother of Yudhishthir, was the Maharani. So at that time, Sri Krishna, after some time, he said, I'm going back to Dwarika. So Kunti came in between and started praying that you are our support, our life. Without you, how will we live? Sri Krishna said, Kunti, I am very pleased with your bhakti. Varam bruhi, what do you want? Ask. So Kunti said, Vipadas santu na shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru. Oh Sri Krishna, give me vipatti. Give me difficulties, hardships, calamities, lack, deprivation of worldly luxuries and comforts. Sri Krishna said, Kunti, what are you asking? In every temple, everybody says, Sukha sampati ghara ave kashta mite tanaka. You are asking the reverse. Kunti said, Maharaj, you know everything. Yes, I know, but speak it out, let the others also know. So Kunti said, Maharaj, Janmaishwarya shruta shri bhire dhama namada puman naivar hatya bhidhatum vai tvama kinchana gocharam. It is because of worldly attractions that we forget you. The allurement, I will get happiness in the world. This is what takes our mind away from you. So if this is snatched away, bhavato darshanam yatsya punar bhava darshanam, we will naturally be disillusioned with the world and we shall look towards you. Just like a child is playing with a toy. Mother wants to feed the child. The child is not interested. So what does the mother say? She tells the neighbor, snatch his toy. The toy is snatched. Now the child remembers the mother and cries for the mother. She comes and feeds him. Similarly, our goal is God. We have forgotten Him. And we are running around out here for happiness. So sometimes when God wishes to particularly grace, He snatches away our toys so that we become detached and we look towards Him and He can bless us with perfect happiness, perfect bliss and perfect love. This philosophy hardly anybody understands or digests or internalizes or implements. Our philosophy is the reverse. If God is very merciful, then from millionaire I'll become billionaire. This is our concept of grace. Swamiji, God has been very kind to me. How come? When I first came to Dallas from India, at that time, I used to walk to my office. And now I've got a Cadillac. But tell me, when you used to walk to your office, you used to read the Hanuman Chalisa every day and also read the Sundarkand and the Bhagavad Gita and listen to pravachans? That's right. And now, I don't have time to go in my Cadillac to the mandir. Why? because I've got 4 factories and 5 bungalows. Is this the grace of God? Grace is that by which the soul is elevated, by which the mind is purified. You have gone in the reverse direction and you are calling it God's grace. To increase your material luxuries is not grace. To elevate your soul is grace. That is why the Narad Pancharatra says, Deshatyago mahan vyadhir virodho bandhubhisah dhanahanir apamanancha madanugraha lakshanam. If somebody is expelled from the place of residence, if some disease, some big mahan vyadhi comes, if the relatives turn negative, if the wealth is lost, if one receives insult, we would say, oh, God has become against him. Say, mad anugraha lakshanam, these are signs of my grace. So, that is now, see, this is the law that our scriptures are stating. Now, do we believe it? According to this law, if the arti is changed, Sukha sampati sab jave kashta mile tanaka. People will say, don't go to that mandir, they sing a very dirty arti out there. So, you'll say, my God, Swamiji, this is God's grace. I hope He doesn't grace me. See, the point is not that. You do your best. The happiness and distress will keep coming. The point to understand is when you get distress, you are not to be disturbed by it. That is the art to be learnt.